I need to know that you use the waffle maker, Karen.
Now, listen, I do think raccoons can be domesticated.
Can I confess something to you? In a
Drinking
reindeer suit.
in a reindeer suit, drinking tea out of a Santa mug. Clay, what are you wearing?
Gets better.
Oh my God.
Hey, hey, Santa slippers.
Meanwhile, I'm just
I'm
wearing my thing that says overthinker. So,
I'm gonna be putting my makeup on during today's episode, but I need you to get the full experience. Hi to our two listeners. I'm one of your hosts, Brooke, and these are my friends, Mary Kate and Hannah Mo. Welcome back to Out of the Group Chat, your official podcast.
I think we're making a thing. I saw some local girls that were at girls' dinner the other night, and the caption was "made it out of the group chat," and I was like, "Tell me I didn't influence you. Tell me that I didn't influence you."
You think they're one of our two listeners? I hope so.
But here's the crazy thing, guys. We have more than 2 listeners.
I received a
Apparently,
lot of direct messages last week, and it made me laugh. I responded to someone and said, "Did you really listen to it? Did you?"
You.
I love that.
I've had friends text me and like call out things that we've said. So it's proof that they have indeed listened. And
Hey,
I'm like,
welcome to our group chat. If you don't have one, borrow ours.
okay, so today, again, we have swapped out Hannah's. Our
This
other
is
Hannah,
becoming a thing. Maybe this is only a group chat of 3, and which Hannah will we have this week?
Fair.
our other Hannah is under the weather. So, maybe someday we're going to all be together, but I think it's just a trend. We're just swapping Hannah's.
Thank you for moving today's recording to the daytime when the sun is up. I'm very excited. This is great. I do better in the daytime.
Yeah, we're a little less sluggish today.
I am curious what everyone else's day looks like. My day is hilarious. How is yours? The fact that we're fitting this in is wonderful.
I've already had, I think, 2 meetings today. I think this is number 3. Technically, I'm calling this a meeting. Doing a million things. Stressing out is the reason for the season, but I'm here.
I've made it. Thursdays are weirdly like my slow day. Wednesdays are my crazy days. I just have like meetings all day on Wednesdays and every other Monday. I'm good. I'm nervous. So I'm in a leadership group in town. And like every month we meet for like almost a full day. And next week's meeting is like law enforcement. So my homework is to do a ride along. So I'm doing a ride along with a cop tomorrow.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it should be interesting.
That'll be so fun.
One of my friends went on hers and they literally took someone to jail. Like they picked him up on a warrant. Like he knew he was going to jail. They just like showed up at his house and he like got in back of the cop car. And I was like, that's
This
I
is
hope it's not, I hope you don't pick up anybody you know.
let's be real. There's a chance. There's always a chance.
okay. In college, do you guys remember? No, Mary Kate, you would remember. There was
I know.
this is probably the magazine or the newspaper where they published everyone's mugshots from the previous month. I was always interested in that going on.
My favorite thing to do after like big holidays is to go onto the Rockport Police Department website and see who went to jail.
True story. It's like busy time of year. That's
Yeah.
when people just usually go off the deep end is the holidays. It brings out the best in all of us.
That's okay. Makes sense. Holidays are stressful. I wish they weren't. They are a little. So we are having, well, it's birthday before Christmas over in our house. So we're going to look at Christmas lights this weekend and do a whole thing. And it was going to be a camping trip, but now I guess the stress will land where I guess I'll have to get on the internet and find us a hotel room this weekend instead. It's fine. That's the name of the game. Adapt and adjust.
Sounds like some time to cash in some Holiday Inn Express points.
Yes, absolutely. Can I confess something to you?
When have you
So
not?
listening back to our podcast, I am now acutely aware of how I overuse certain words. And I don't know if it's a hyper focus on ADHD type of thing where I stick to a word. Like apparently wildly was a word I was really into the first 2 episodes. So now I'm being very cognizant, trying not to do that.
Okay,
So if
so
we sound like robots, we're trying to
We're trying not to
cut
be
out our
morons.
our verbal tics. I still don't know, Brooke. I told you about this earlier today that I still don't know if I'm going to be randomly cashing in some Holiday Inn Express points because we're driving to our house out west and it's a 14-hour drive,
Don't do
normal
it. Cash 'em
driving,
in.
no stops. My husband seems to think that we can do it in a day with 2 children. Normally we break it across 2 days and do like a hard day of driving the first day. And then the second day, it's like 3 or 4 hours, no biggie. Pulling a trailer and with 2 kids.
I feel like on the way back, you could power through. This last summer, we went to Yellowstone and we had allotted for 3 days to return because we are pulling the camper. We stayed overnight in Laramie on our way back to Oklahoma. And have you heard of Harvest Host? We were using that. We had a place and we got really close to it and made eye contact. And I was like, oh, we're powering through. We're not staying in Kansas. We're going. We're just, let's do it.
That's what like Mike does when he goes elk hunting is he leaves like in the evening and just does an all night thing.
That's
But
what we're going to do. We're going to have to leave probably like 3 or 4 in the morning and just the kids will sleep a big chunk of it. I'll probably sleep a big chunk of it. So
I just saw a TikTok that said, marriage is understanding that your wife is driving nowhere. She will be napping and drinking a lot of coffee. True, though.
Passenger princess right here. So we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I'm willing to try almost anything once, believe it or not. Okay, speaking of breaking the journey, I got to sidetrack and tell you this really funny story that I didn't realize existed. But I was at a wedding and part of the groom's family was from England. So a lot of them came over and they were talking about how the wedding venue was so far from like the airport. So they probably flew into like San Antonio maybe. And then of course they've got to drive like a couple hours. To us, that's totally normal.
Okay, that's a whole country to them.
Yeah. Well, then I start telling her about our house out west and she nearly fell out of her chair that we would drive 14 hours. And then she proceeds to tell me, she's like, yeah, we have a vacation home too on the coast. It's about 2.5 hours away, but we stay overnight to break the journey. They break the journey on a 2-hour drive overnight.
So weird.
Cultural norms they're very interesting to me. So my family is in Indiana. They live maybe 45 minutes south of Indianapolis, out in the country. But driving to Indianapolis that far, no one's doing that. You save that for the weekend, a special occasion. You're not doing that on a Tuesday. That's how far I need to go to a good grocery store. I mean, to be fair, I do have a DG real close now. Thanks, DG, for popping up all over the place.
You got to snag those $5 off coupons. You got to grab them.
There's $5 off coupons?
Yes, on Saturdays.
They automatically like pop out when my receipt prints.
You use it on Saturday.
I do enjoy ours has the fresh produce, so I can get some tomatoes, avocados.
Yeah. They just put one of those in. Ours didn't have that, but they just put one in that has the fresh produce and like meat and stuff. Game changer.
Ours is not. I mean, ours has bacon. Like
I think it will soon, Hannah. I think they're on an international.
I'm here for it. I wish they would put one on this side of the bridge.
I'm split on whether I like or dislike the DG. Here's why. I love the access that it provides in food deserts. I dislike that it takes away the opportunity for a homegrown small town grocery store to really have a chance because they have the ability to, take losses across the board. And I dislike their branding. If you're going to come to our rural hometown, like stop with the neon yellow and the cheap design. Like you can choose better branding. Branding is a choice.
Welcome to our TED Talk about Dollar General.
DG, please listen to our podcast.
Okay, let's jump into a segment I just pulled up our notes because I haven't looked at it in a few days.
Yeah.
Do we want to jump into algorithm, things that we've Googled or things that have engaged us on the internet this past week? Here's my first soapbox. TikTok Shop and the videos are getting way too long. This is not the home shopping network. Stop. We are here to be entertained, learn new dance moves, and laugh.
I'm a firm believer that just because you can create an affiliate link or become a brand ambassador doesn't mean that you should. Only endorse things you actually use or have an opinion on. If you're out here hustling just to make a commission, I guess that's a choice. It's a free world. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it. I need to know that you used the waffle maker, Karen. Don't give me that link unless you've actually used it.
I love the girl on Instagram, things I bought and liked, Tibal. She never shows her face. She's from Houston. She's an Aggie. You can tell all of those things. I'm sure a lot of people actually know who she is, but I enjoy that about her. She like never shows her face. She also, I don't think ever really shows affiliate links. I think
They
she makes
probably send her products to review.
well, I think she makes enough just off her viewership and stuff that she doesn't do affiliate links. But I also appreciate her that she still tags a lot of small businesses too. So there's like a diamond girl in Houston that she really likes and some like local places. She influences me.
Well,
So.
here's an empty almost. I don't have an affiliate link, but I do love this brow gel. It's Dior. I got it at Sephora. I really do like it. It's the best one I've ever used.
I've only ever used the Benefits one and I don't love it.
I previously used that one.
Yeah.
This is better.
I go back and forth. Like some days I'm a brow gel mood. Then sometimes I just want to be a pencil. My eyebrows are constantly changing, apparently.
So
I want my brows fluffy like I like my cows.
My sister just got hers tattooed, or my semi-permanent tattooed.
Team tattoo. Ombre powder. Yes.
So,
listen, if I have to lose my brows again, I will not be drawing them on. There is a base.
And she does the lip blushing too.
I don't know
that
how I
looks
feel about
wild.
I know. I get scared with that because I'm like, I could do like a little bit like pinker color, I guess, but like you're stuck with that. And like what happens when it starts to fade? I'm just confused.
So that's why I like the ombre powder instead of the old school micro whatever they used to do for eyebrows, because that caused scarring, which is why people kind of have that gray or weird salmon eyebrows. This is a very different technology, the ombre powder. It's not as deep, there's smaller strokes. Speaking of the algorithm, which is the segment we're still in, should we address that were we right or were we right?
We were so right.
We were so right.
Yeah.
Taylor wouldn't do that to her fans. They'd been dating for a long time. Heard it here first. Come to us for more opinions on things we see on the internet.
Dumois has nothing on us because we called it. We called it. Just like she said, she would not hard launch a first date.
I saw a meme that was like, I didn't know T-Pain was a redhead. T-Pain? Red hair? No? Dang it. I had to explain the joke. It's not funny. You guys know who T-Pain is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, I have a question. This is like part therapy, part algorithm. Talking about the toddlers at 4 a.m. We had to like sideline this a couple times because you weren't on. We want to know how the toddler's doing sleeping wise. But all this did was remind me of that TikTok series of the guy who does his little kid. And sideline, the kid sounds like George W. But he's just like dressed up and has a cowboy hat. And he always starts with, "Excuse me, daddy." Have you seen those?
No. What kind of Texas TikTok are you on?
But anyways, find it. You'll laugh. You'll love it. How are things with your toddler?
Reed's still not going to bed very easily, but we got rid of we're not doing pacifier anymore. And I think that was kind of like a coping mechanism. And I think if I handed him a pacifier, he would go to sleep faster. But also I was thinking, why, like, I feel like I've been told, oh, you got to break him with their passy. It's bad for him. Why is it bad for them? If it's bad for them, why do we give them to them in the first place?
It's just when their teeth start coming in, it can cause their teeth like change their bite and their teeth will like stick out like this.
They're going to lose these teeth anyways.
I mean, but they keep them for a while.
We're probably all going to have to pay for braces anyways at some point.
I think Mary Kate is further along than both of us. Your kids are older. You have the oldest of this chat currently. True or false? Life gives you this incredible hindsight where do you kind of forget about the kid not sleeping through the night?
No, I remember.
Awesome.
No, I remember. And honestly, there are times where they're about to be 7 and 9 in a couple months. And there's times where I get woken up in the middle of the night. Every stage is hard.
Mhm.
Every stage is fun. And you're just constantly just swapping challenges. But I remember what it's like to be up at night, just like, please, baby child, go to sleep.
There's the dog and there's the husband.
Oh. Hey, a husband crasher. Welcome to our podcast.
With special guests.
Did you know that we had a podcast?
Yeah, I've already heard about the raccoon incident.
He heard about the raccoon.
Okay, Brooke, did you send the one of the girl who's just driving in her car and literally there's a leashed raccoon? Like, you don't see it at first. You're like, oh, that's a cute puppy or cat or whatever. And you're like, holy smokes, that's a raccoon sitting in her lap as she's driving down the road.
Now, listen, I do think raccoons can be domesticated. It was okay for the cats and dogs to be domesticated, maybe even some possums, I guess. People like, but then we like drew the line at raccoons. I don't understand.
Yeah, what was the cutoff? What was so bad about our trash pandas that they didn't make the cut? Have you been following the Maddie Brockway? First of all, who is she? Where did she come from? I think we're starting to unravel who that is and where she came from. But there's another side to this. And I got to thinking, I was like, that's like the perfect crisis communication response. Let's throw a $50 million wedding, plastered all over the internet. Distraction, smoke screen. I'm here for that. And I would love to have a client that's like, yeah, let's do that. I think let's do that.
So the whole reason I even started seeing it was I know a girl who was at the wedding and her twin was like at a lot of the events. She just comes from a wealthy family that I guess owns a bunch of Lexus dealerships.
Yeah, I saw that. I found it in the Google search. The Googles answered that. And it was like, okay, this is a wonderful, beautiful wedding. Like, what's happening here? And then all of a sudden that headline hits and you're like, oh.
Are you going to tell me he wasn't out on bond? And he went overseas? I mean, maybe we don't know. We don't know.
That's a gray area.
Like we talked about with Travis Kelce, like they were going back and like reading all of Travis Kelce's old Twitter threads. And it's just like him eating Olive Garden and hanging out with his dad. It's like,
I firmly believe that Tree 100% knew that they existed and they let them be because they knew the Swifties would find them.
Also, why are we not hiring more Swifties for the FBI?
Have you seen the confetti theory? I told you about this. Yeah, where she added the Chiefs color into her confetti, and like the girl who saved the confetti from every tour, she has the confetti, and I'm like, that is beyond.
Yeah, why are they not solving national cases? Because they could do it with their iPhones in 3.5 seconds. You know what we can do right now is have a word from our sponsor. Tulsa Blooms specializes in garden design for customers in Tulsa and surrounding areas and virtual design for any gardening zone. From homeowners with generic stock landscape installs who are ready to up-level their curb appeal to renters who will benefit from patio containers to ensure a more welcoming experience to established estates seeking seasonal color changes. Tulsa Blooms offers top-tier exclusive services. Abby and Stephanie, your gardening designers, are not only the keepers of one of my favorite group chats, they're also wildly talented. Visit tulsablooms.com to learn more and tell them we sent you. We love Stephanie. She is so wickedly talented. She's just like the ultimate mother of the mothers. Like, we love her.
She is not a group chat.
She is not. You can put her in a group chat, but she will not respond. And I
Like, you gotta
respect
call
that.
her. Yeah.
I respect that. She's the one that like she was in Broken Bow, remember? And she like made us all these wonderful meals and
Yeah.
she just like took care of all of us. And we
Yeah.
were just, it was the best gift.
I mean, I feel like I've been Christmas present shopping. So I have most of my Christmas presents done, except for my sister, who I drew for Christmas because we draw names now for the adults. And my mother, and I don't know why that those two are always so hard to buy for, but I feel like that's what I've been doing. It's just like I'm done with giving crap. Like, I want to give you something you're going to use. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, that's going to be appreciated. It's going to be useful, or it's something that you want that you would never buy for yourself.
So here's what I did for my mom. I was like, she has like one of those, she just had her birthday. So she's like a birthday Christmas close together, like many of us. And I was struggling to figure out what to get her for Christmas. And then I remembered, so this probably wouldn't work for you, but it works for us because we're in Southeast Texas and she's out in Arizona. So what I'm doing is I'm putting together a little care package of all the things that she can't get where she's at. So like the Cajun chef hot sauce and like the slap yo mama jambalaya mix. And then there's a type of all-purpose flour that we can get out here, white lily, that she's mentioned several times to me of, ooh, can you get that in your grocery store? We don't have it out here. So she's mentioned that quite a bit. So I was like, I kind of mentioned it to her and she was like, I would love that. So she's getting a little mama care package of all the kind of food items that she can't get out in Arizona.
Yeah.
And
That's
she's
cute.
totally excited.
Yeah. Meanwhile, my mom lives across the street. So
you should still get her a care package.
Like, here
of food items. Here, mom.
I
Here's
should, what I
5.
should do is I should just return all the things that I've stole. Like, I've gone over, hey, I need shortening. Can I get your shortening? Hey, I'm out of vanilla. Can I get your vanilla? I need to just restock her with all this stuff that I don't have in my own kitchen that I borrow.
Have you seen the ones where they go and like rob grandma's house and they re-gift stuff from her house to her? Like the grandmas that have like all the trinkets and all the stuff everywhere, they'll go and like steal a teacup or like a little figurine here and they rewrap it and it's all like a big gag at Christmas.
I feel like I could do that for my mother-in-law. They have a lot of like trinkets, but like, I mean, meaningful little things. And my parents don't. I don't know if it's my parents don't or if like the hurricane just kind of wiped everything out. Hey, what happened?
You're back.
When I tell you I'm on Zoom calls with clients all week, but today it's like, no, back in the group chat, no podcast for you.
Zoom kicked you out of the group chat.
Something did pop up. When was the first time you ever rode a roller coaster? How old were you?
Like, define roller coaster, like the little ones at the county fair, probably like 2.
No, not those. Like a
real one
at like Six Flags or Universal Studios or
whenever
I do remember
tall enough. So 42 inches or whatever.
I mean, Elsie is very close to doing that. We're going to Branson this weekend and we've already checked. She's excited that she's unlocked new rides. We are a roller coaster family.
Mary Kate.
Well, I've been on them. Joseph is not a roller coaster person. I'm sure Tucker probably will be at some point. I do remember, Brooke, was it you that made me go on the New York roller coaster in
you hated it.
Las Vegas the whole entire time I'm screaming, I hate you, Brooke. I hate you, Brooke.
Is that the one on like top of the
It's like goes in and out of the casino, the New York casino. And yeah, she made me go on it and I just screamed, I hate you, Brooke, the whole entire time.
Yeah. So I'm actually afraid of heights. You guys know that. And so I don't know what it is, but making myself ride roller coasters or going skydiving is just this thing where I've convinced myself that I'll be able to regain control of something I've lost control of. Doesn't mean I'm still not scared of heights. I just force myself to do it.
I will absolutely never go skydiving. Absolutely not.
Really? When I
Me
tell
neither.
you it's not scary coming down, it's the going up is the scary part.
No. No, so I didn't ride my first roller coaster till I was 30.
What?
My mom traumatized me on a log ride at Six Flags when I was like 8 years old.
30?
30 years old at Universal Studios. Carly made me.
She's frozen.
Was it like the Harry Potter?
It was. It was.
Oh my gosh.
Then we rode a bunch of them. And it was
Sure.
fine. I didn't ride any outside of a building. Like, you know how at Universal Studios, they're all inside. So I think it's like, but we went over and we rode the Mummy one. That was the last one we rode. And I don't know if you're familiar with that one, but it definitely like is like an old school, like click, 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 click up. And like,
Mhm.
and the whole time, same thing, Mary Kate. It's like straps you in this way and your feet are dangling. And the whole time, I am just all the pictures. I am just holding on, eyes closed, just screaming. And Carly's sitting next to me, and Carly has poked her head around and is laughing at me in all the photos. Like, I was like, we are not purchasing these photos.
Oh,
But
Carl. That's such a
Oh,
Carl.
Carl's just
Elsie's first like one that did the click, click, click was the Goofy airplane. I don't know what it was really called in Disney World. And she was 2 and she still talks about it. She is
Really?
an adrenaline junkie. When I was really little, we went to Kings Island in Ohio. Elite experience.
That is a weird thing about Ohio. They like the roller coasters. They have a
Oh,
bunch of like little. I did not know this about Ohio till I was working in Cincinnati for that company.
yeah, they have
Every,
Cedar Point. Like they've got good stuff.
everywhere. There's like little amusement parks with roller coasters everywhere.
So when I worked on that TV show, chasing down Madison Brown, Madison and I had a day off between shooting, and we went to Universal, just the 2 of us, grown adults,
Yeah.
just destroyed Universal. We rode every ride like multiple times. Best day.
What's
Best
up?
day. I think there is experiencing amusement parks and Disney type stuff with kids. Mm-mm. Go as an adult, kid free. Great time.
Have you seen this on TikTok? There are nannies that nanny at Disney World. Like that's
Yeah,
literally their job. Like
smart.
mom and dad go do whatever. Nanny takes kiddos and does all the rides with them all day and gets paid to do it. While
I
mom
would
and dad.
never do that, but I do love that that's an option for some people.
I mean, if you were going to be there for multiple days, I would think about maybe doing it one day, so I could have time with like my partner.
Have I told you about the time I took Joseph with me to Universal Studios?
I'm gonna go with it
I don't
wasn't
even
great.
know who Harry Potter is.
So this was
He's a
before we were
Hufflepuff,
married.
isn't he?
No, I don't know. No,
See
He's a
Ravenclaw.
Hufflepuff.
I don't know, but that's a really great question. I need to do some soul searching on that one, and I'll get back to you on an answer. But this was before we were married. I was in Orlando for a meeting, and he came out to stay with me. And I took him. I was like, I want to go. And the Harry Potter land had just opened up. And I was like, I want to go. I want to go. I want to go. So I drag him to that thing right when it opened that morning. I'm just loving life. He's going along with me. He's being like a good sport. I went and got him some butterbeer, and we're walking around doing all the things. He's playing along, and he's like, I am getting zero buzz from this butterbeer. And I was like, well, it's non-alcoholic. And he goes, what the hell am I doing in the Harry Potter land at 9:00 in the morning sober? Because you love me. That's why. And he was like, we need to find me some real beer because this is, and
And
he
you
is
can
not a
buy
Harry Potter
beer
person.
at 9 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Whenever it opened, like I took him right then, and he was just like, this is the only thing that's going to get me through this. And I tricked him. He probably couldn't name one Harry Potter character.
That's funny. Do you remember when my dad went with us to one of the midnight screenings?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was the cutest. I told my siblings about it and they did not believe me. That is, I was like all through college, every midnight. Well, we went to multiple because remember
Yeah.
that was the season when they just like kept them releasing. You know,
That's
you met my dad, denim on denim, cowboy hat wearing, the real Kevin Costner from Yellowstone vibes, and he would meet us at midnight in Stillwater on Harry Potter night when the line was, you couldn't like buy specific seats. It was like a mad sprint to claim your seat. And the line was deep and he would stand in line. And I think he fell asleep during every movie, but he went with us.
so growing up, we had TVs, but we didn't have cable. Like, and not just cable, we didn't have local channels, like nothing. Like there was no antenna situation that would work where we lived.
VHS only.
VHS only, which was fine because my mom managed a Blockbuster for a long time. When Blockbusters were a big deal. So going to the movies was like, we did that all the time. It was like something we did as a family. As I got older, especially in grad school, going to the movies by myself, favorite thing. Favorite thing. I love going to the movies by myself, no one else. Like we lived in Austin, going to Alamo Drafthouse where I could drink and get food at the movie theater by myself. Even better.
Austin is also where I started going to movies solo. I was in that not great relationship, and that's where I just started. From the time I lived in Austin, living in Nashville, and before I moved to Oklahoma, I saw every single movie that was released.
So I'm in this spot right now where the other day I was like, you know what? I want like self-care day. I want to go see a movie. And so I was gonna watch, there's a new Hunger Games movie out that's like
Yeah.
the origin story. It's 2.5 hours long. No matter how I split it, I was like, I can't do this where I can like be off work or take off work and make it home in time to like be with my kid.
Both of you have met my friend Merrick,
Yeah.
right? Do you know Merrick? Both of you have met
I've
her?
never met Merrick. I don't
Okay.
think.
You need to meet Merrick. Yes, yes, you have. You met her.
When?
You have in Asheville, North Carolina.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. So her and her husband, they have 4 little boys. The youngest 3 are triplets. And they do 2 really cool things. I'm going to mess this up, but listen how cool this is. Because what they found was they didn't have any time for themselves independently. And so they have a schedule on the weekends where on Saturday, parent 1 gets to sleep in a little later. And then when that person wakes up, the other parent gets like 6 hours of free time. And then they switch and do it on Sunday in some way. Like they have a schedule. I think that's cool because they've agreed that on either one of those days they get to go to the library or go shop, whatever it is they want to do. And those things can't be chores. Like they can't be grocery store, I believe. But then listen to, they happen to be on a really awesome trip right now. I think they're in Paris, actually. I checked my Find Friends and that made me happy. I don't think it applies to this trip, but they're frequent travelers. And I've always been curious, how do they do that? She recently wrote an article for a local Oklahoma City magazine. I'll link it in the show notes. What they do is say they're going to New York City. So parent 1 will fly in 2 days early, solo, spend 2 days doing it whatever they like. Parent 2 flies in, they'll spend like a day and a half together. Then parent 1 leaves, parent 2 stays, and they get a few days to themselves. So they only have to find childcare for like 1 night.
I wasn't on board until you said that they used it to find childcare, and I was like, "That's brilliant."
Yes,
That's
like
brilliant.
that's how they like, that's their cheat code to keep traveling during this season. Will they do it this way forever? Probably not. But like this is how they make it happen. Because how do you find childcare for that many days in a row with that many kids?
Yeah.
I
Also,
can't find that many for 1 kid.
I was gonna say I have trouble with just 2 kids, so
I think it's a luxury that we get to travel, all of us. I haven't traveled in a while, but as much, these camping trips or whatever, I do think that our generation is very creative in our ability to prioritize things like travel. For example, one of our cheat codes in the group chat is we all own small businesses. And so we go on work trips and it is a work expense. And then to be fair, we are collaborating. We are bringing our laptop. There's at least 2 days where we are sitting in a living room in an Airbnb. And, Hannah Fryer is going to be like, I hate social media. Someone do my social media. And we'll schedule that out for 3 months. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we collaborate. But that is a privilege, I think, that we all have, that we all happen to all own our own businesses.
It's brilliant.
It really is. It's a great
but the problem is we need to schedule one of those. We haven't had one of those in
because childcare.
a while, a hot minute. Okay, I have a question. What TV shows are you waiting patiently for the next season to
Grey's
debut?
Anatomy.
That's a good one.
Listen, it's supposed to be every September. I'm in it for how many years now? Like 17. I can't I need to know what happens.
That's a really deep commitment, and I applaud you for that. I only stayed for, I don't know, the first bit. I can't tell you the last time I watched Grey's Anatomy. I only really know what's happened from all the random TikToks I get that piece together the puzzle. And I'm still kind of confused.
Ever come to one of my watch parties? Oh, we lived together during some of those. I hosted watch parties in college for Grey's and some other show I can't remember.
Yeah. I am patiently waiting for 2 shows.
Which ones?
One, Emily in Paris. We all know that. We binge watched that together. And Broken Bow.
That show.
Also, I'm waiting for Miss Scarlet and the Duke. I love that show. It's on PBS.
Oh, it's like, I don't even know
is based in like Victorian era England. The main character, her father was a private detective and he passes away and she wants to keep his business going. So she becomes like lady detective trying to start this business. And she happens to be childhood friends with a very good looking Scottish man who is head of Scotland Yard. And he's like, there's just this push pull, slow burn romance going. And you can just tell he loves her so much. And he gets her out of trouble all the time because she does things she shouldn't be doing and kind of crosses the line, but he covers up for her and gets her out of trouble and helps her. So it's and if they don't get together in season 4, I'm done. But the story's great. It's just a really unique twist because, I mean, how many lady detectives are there in Victorian era England? And she's witty and she's smart and I just love her. And she's just adorable and he's very nice to look at and listen to.
My husband and I are watching Justified, which I don't even know when it originally came out, but we are
What's
binging
that?
it.
My husband watched all that.
Kind of like a modern day Western. It has do you remember the older brother from Seventh Heaven? No? Okay.
I didn't watch
he's
that.
a U.S. Marshal and I don't know, we're into it. It's very Western-y. There's some Western moments. It's like modern day Western.
Speaking of that, like Westerns, I got this random phone call several weeks ago. So my husband, side note, my husband never meets a stranger. We all know this. He is best buddies apparently with the antique store in Wilcox where our house is at out west. So one day this guy calls and he's like, "Oh, hey, George," and starts calling. I'm like, why is the antique guy calling him? Well, he's like, these people need you to call them. They have some questions, blah, blah, blah. Apparently, the TV production crew for a TV show called Space Cowboys was trying to film out there and they were looking for a place to stay. So that's why they were asking about our house, but they were looking for a ranch to film on. And I was like, oh, I got to ask my mom on this. So I called her and was I didn't even get through it. She goes, absolutely not.
No. I recently watched All the Light We Cannot See, which it's not done, but I think it's not like a new season. I think they just split it. I think they dropped 2 or 3 episodes and then they're going to drop some more. It's based on a novel. And then the other terrible one I'm watching is Gen V, which is a spinoff of The Boys on Amazon Prime, which is very bad. It's very the whole thing is bad. It's bloody and gory and action, but then I got sucked into the story and I had to know what happened. And so now I'm watching the spinoff that's like the younger versions of them. So
I just watched the most adorable Netflix show with Jennifer Garner, and you guys should watch it.
it's
It's
the one
so
they changed the bodies.
yes.
Yes, we watched that the other night. It was really cute. But I was gonna say, did y'all see, since you have children, on Disney Plus, they are redoing Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Like they're gonna make it a show instead of a movie. Because I
I
don't
don't
think
know who
they
that
ever
is.
finished. It was a book. They're like half gods. Like his dad was a god and his mom was immortal. But it's like set
Chris
in
Pratt
but
in the
it's set in like
Marvel.
yes, but it's set in like present day.
Oh,
So they're like remaking that, which I don't think they ever finished all the book, turning the books into a movie. So that should be interesting. What's our next topic?
Bella Hadid's new boyfriend.
Who is her new boyfriend?
I just want you guys to go look at it. She is dating someone in the Western world. I don't know much about it, but he is a real cute cowboy. And I love that for her. I want you guys to go look it up. I should have researched that more, but I forgot. I love
Oh,
that.
look at him in his little cinched jeans walking across the street with her.
I
And
think
his
he's like
cowboy.
a real, like he's the legit. I mean, I haven't checked like my case or OSCN or any of those places,
I
but
mean,
I think he's probably just like a good
DMZ said,
cowboy dude. TMZ
But
coming
I know
Hello.
what you
soon.
mean, though. Like, I think we are seeing this trend. I don't know if Travis Kelce started it, but just like the man's man and like let's have the big, beefy football
Masculine
player
man
or the
coming
rugged
back.
cowboy. They're making a comeback.
Listen, I know like you love who you love, but it's real nice when you can have a guy who can like fix stuff and like drives a truck. He can haul stuff. Look at that. You know what? She doesn't have to worry about that. That guy has a toolbox. He can fix stuff. Guys, we all work from home. And have you noticed that none of us have any official workspace? Because I'm in a guest room, you're in a guest room, you're in your living room.
Yep.
We have full careers running
Yeah.
it from our houses. And it's like I have guests come over and I'm like, oh, sorry, let me get my office stuff out of your way.
I keep getting served those videos
I
where
need the
it's like
respect.
who you
I need my
think
own
is
office space.
responding. Like the video starts with who you think is responding to your email. It's like their polished professional, like headshot. And then it's like, who's actually, here's me in my sweatpants.
In a
drinking
reindeer suit.
in a reindeer suit, drinking tea out of a Santa mug.
That's how I feel.
Honestly, I'd love it for us.
When I drop off my son at daycare, there's someone that I work with that drops her son off at daycare, but she works in the office. And so, like this morning, I'm in leggings and an oversized sweatshirt, no makeup on. And she's like in this cute little jumper with like her little booties on, like hair done, makeup on. I was just like, hey. She's like,
You're like,
hey,
we go to the same place. We both
like,
go here.
yep. I just don't have to interact with people every day. I pay for a desk at my real estate office. And so some days I go up there and work. But
I'm sorry, what? Oh, realty office. You have so many jobs, I can't keep track.
I know.
Someday we plan on building out. So, like, if you go up in our attic, there's probably at least 10-foot ceilings in there. Like, it's wild. But I did that with intention because I wanted, if we did like a bonus room someday, to it be like a legit cool bonus room.
Mm-hmm.
So our plan is someday to build that out and have I have a spot in our house where we'll just like put in a spiral staircase to go up to it. And it'll be just like this big giant bonus room. And I think my office might move up there someday, but that's a long way from today. So it's going to be the guest room / office for the foreseeable future. But someday I might have a really cool workspace, but then it won't be a dedicated, it'll be like workspace / bonus room. So I don't know.
We have a golf cart garage and we no longer have a golf cart. We have a Ranger and the Ranger does not fit in the golf cart garage. So that's become where we keep like some shelves. So we keep like extra paper towels out there and like,
yeah,
that really needs to become an office. Like Mike and I both need, I sit here. Mike usually sits at our kitchen table. And Like we just need space. And I'm like, that seems to be just put a little, I don't even think we have to put a mini split. I think we just go get one of those little window ACs and pop it in the wall and just call it a day. So there's a door into it. At the back, it has like a garage roll door. I want to get like one of those plexiglass ones so you can see through it. I think that would be super cool. If not, we could probably just do French doors there, but I think it'd be cooler to have the plexiglass.
Yeah. And roll it up and just enjoy the air when you can.
I follow a bunch of like natural paths on TikTok and Instagram and stuff. And I didn't realize how much mold comes into your house when you put a Christmas tree in your house. Which like we keep an air filter or an air purifier in the living room and in Reed's room just because we're on the coast and allergies and everything. And we have the dogs but one of the girls was like, it should be fine. Just put your air purifier next to it. And I'm like, oh my God.
I would have never thought that.
Yeah, apparently like Christmas trees bring in a lot of like mold and something else that like if you see a change in like your child and stuff, it's usually during that season, it's because your Christmas tree. I had no idea.
Well, ours is actually we have an artificial tree, but we have a big air purifier right there by it. And then we have like the little ones in the bedrooms and stuff too. Okay, one thing we got to mention though. If people want to our 3 listeners, if you want to send us a question for us to answer on an upcoming podcast, or tell us a funny story, or maybe a not so funny story, like who knows what you have to tell us, you can email us at outofthegroupchatpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to be a sponsor, you can also hit us up in that direction as well.
You can submit the form at outofthegroupchatpodcast.com.
Yep. The other thing is some of these have gone kind of long, so we have a lot of lingering content. So we may have some bonus episodes someday, but we don't know what that's going to look like. But if that's something that they want to have, let us know.
I have a really good story for next time. It's too close to the event happening as of today for next time. That's going to be good, but we have to wait. So
I haven't even told you guys about how I had to track my dog who ran away, but with his GPS collar. So we'll table it.
I'm going to put both of those under therapy for next time.
Out of the group chat. I love you guys.
Love you. See y'all later.
Toodaloo.
Perfect. Welcome back, listeners. I'm going to start over. That wasn't good. Hey, welcome back, our 2 listeners. I'm one of your hosts, Brooke, and these are my friends, Hannah and Hannah. Wait, no.
Take 3.
Take 3.